Today we have one more young articulate Indian in the Voice of the Young series. Hello everyone, it's good to be with you once again. We have today a very unusual person, Darshan Raval. His background is such that neither his mother nor his father even completed school education. And yet here he is, he'll talk to us in fluent English, works for a startup, is optimistic, and so on. Let's hear from Darshan. Over to you, Darshan.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Subodh sir. It's been an honor to share this forum with you, and I have been following your work since quite a while now. Your work, which you already had a great background, but apart from that, the kind of work which you're doing for the Indian youth through the NGO, even that has been inspirational. So yeah, looking forward to the discussion.
So go ahead. Tell us about how you overcame all the issues that come with the kind of background you had and how you reached where you are now. And what you are doing now, that's very important too. Not where you started, but what you are doing now and what you plan to do in the future. So let's go ahead.
Sure. Thank you so much. So, as everybody knows, that my name is Darshan Raval, and I was born in a rural area called Sirohi in Rajasthan. So I was born there, and after 2 years, when I was 2 years old, I migrated to Mumbai with my family. So my family was in search of better livelihood opportunities. This is how they migrated to Mumbai, and after that did my schooling over there in a state school, and then we performed well in 10th grade.
What kind of school was it, Darshan?
So it was a private funded school, but the state education, it was run under the state education board. So it was a SSC board, a state board.
Yeah.
But it was a private, it was run by a private body.
So was it
not
tuition high, or how did your parents manage?
Yeah, I think it had an average, pretty average kind of school of the fee structure as compared to the other schools.
Okay.
Yeah, so not very high. Yeah. Not very high or not very low as well. So kind of in middle.
Okay.
Yeah. So after the major turning point was around I would say standard 10th, because unlike other states in India and Maharashtra, what the typical pattern is that you appear for board exam in 10th, and after that you straight away start for college rather than after 12th, right? So that time I had a privilege, I would say, of being in touch with a great mentor, academic mentor, who happens to be, I'm still in touch with him still today. So he kind of brought out the best in me. At the time, he made sure that I'm performing well in my exams, etc. And this is how I kind of cracked good grades and decent grades in 10th exam, which were kind of not very comfortable, but it brought me to a place called HR College, which happens to be one of the best commerce college, at least in Maharashtra, we can say. So, and that's where I think since things started turning around, right? So I was new in college, not very kind of shy student, not like I didn't used to speak very much with the other student, etc. But then I, like any other student would do, right? You would go find opportunities where you can just hang around with students and different students, and like to partner with organizations where you have interest in working. So this is how I came across a group of people, a young dynamic people, they can call themselves young social entrepreneurs. They used to work at the intersection of entrepreneurship and impact, which is in layman language called social entrepreneurship. So this is with the organization was called Enactus, and we had an Enactus chapter, one of the very first chapters in India. That was in our that was in our college. That was the HR college. So when I attended their session, so it was really intriguing. They were working in the rural areas and partnering with international organization and changing the lives of the rural people. So that I found it very fascinating. So I joined them. So starting as a mere volunteer to then leading the team of more than 80 people as a president of Enactors Society. I worked on different projects ranging from water and sanitation, women empowerment, rural livelihood, etc., etc. So worked with two uh, international organizations. One of them being a US based organization where you are based currently. So what we did was the US based organization had a patented product, and we launched that patented product in India on a non-commercial basis. So we figured out that how can we bring this to India and employ rural women, manufacture this product, which could be which will be made by women, sell by women, and used by women. So this is how the idea was born, and we
Is that a
within
secret? The name of that product is a secret, or can you tell
no
us?
sure. So the project is called Project Inayat. It was about women's rural sanitation. So this is how we started that product. Like after thorough research, we found out that the rural menstrual hygiene area is very big pain point, still a pain point, like still a pain point because of the many cultural issues and also logistic issues, etc., etc. So we kind of thought of like, how can we give a solution to women which they themselves can kind of make it and kind of use it, etc. So after partnering with that organization, the organization name was for Days for Girls, and they had a patented reusable sanitary kit, a whole sanitary kit. And we kind of found out a community of women who would be uh, ready to make it. We trained them, and after training them, we also gave them some logistic support, how to market it, how to produce it, etc., etc. And after that, the whole, what we say, the manufacturing unit took off. We did this. Of course, we did this in a collaboration with an NGO, which is based in the rural Maharashtra. The project was scaled very well. It got scaled to, I think, 3 to 4 states, and it was recognized as world's top 12 innovation in the water and sanitation space. So this is how my impact journey started, and I realized that if the youth power can come together with a common goal, right, and if entrepreneurial spirit and innovation can be bring together with the youth energy, magic can happen.
Mm-hmm.
So this is how I thought that I'd like to continue my journey in the impact space and see that how can I continue doing such kind of impactful project with impactful people. So yeah, so the project is still running. Our juniors are running it. I think it independently. Also, the NGO is running the project in full swing. So after that, I think after that, when I was on the verge of graduation, COVID struck. So I'm kind of the COVID batch. Uh, so my graduation got delayed by at least 8 months because of COVID. And I would say, Matlusa, that COVID was a time which was, I think, the most transformational time for me personally, professionally, but personally, majorly, and spiritually also, because the time since my dad had a shop. I think it was in the retail sector, right? And retail and tourism were the most affected sector during the COVID. So our livelihood and a business was impacted heavily. So being the very, like, the eldest child in the home, so the things got very kind of, let's say, very, there was a lot of struggle, I would say. So not only in terms of financial, but also health wise. One of my dad was hospitalized during the COVID time. So that was, so I people say, like, we graduated with opportunities, right? Offer
Yeah.
letters in hand, etc., etc. But I
Yeah.
graduated with a lot of uncertainties and struggle.
Okay.
So trying to figure out what to do, how to make sure that things fall in place as soon as possible, not only health wise, but even for my professional or even on my professional goals, right? Whatever on the projects on which I was working on. So yeah, things took time. My dad's health was impacted, and a family, because of that, family was impacted, because coincidentally, because, like, sorry, fortunately, we, and in my family, myself and my family, we never saw, like, my dad never even went to a clinic.
Yeah.
Like he was so healthy for his whole life. I personally never saw my dad going to a clinic. Okay, I'm going to a doctor today, or I'm not feeling well today, and suddenly you see that an ambulance is coming and he's hospitalized. And it was like spiritually, emotionally, and physically very. It was very kind of. I would say I don't have the right word, but it was very challenging, I would say.
Yeah.
As of now. So this is how I was graduated during a lot of uncertainties. But I was very keen that when I was in college, I didn't really set for placements because I didn't very clearly knew that what I want to do, but I knew that this is the thing which I don't want to do in college because the typical companies which came to hire, but there was not very intriguing work which I saw that maybe I could start here. So I had some sort of clarity in my mind that I will work with like inspiring people who are doing some meaningful stuff and entrepreneurship, startups, and like any organization who are working in interesting problem statements. And if an interesting team is involved, I will be there.
Okay.
So working with inspiring people, doing meaningful stuff. So my hunt was going on. I came in connect with the founder who was working in the water space, doing interesting stuff. I had a background in the water and sanitation space. I was kind of like helping him out with his
So
like bringing.
how did you come in contact with this person? I mean, you were just a college student. So how do you contact these people?
Yeah, so what I also used to do is like I never like really sat for my classes during my college. So I always like kind of a wandering bird who used to attend different conferences, attend different meetings, attend different community groups where the real action is taking place, right? So this is where I met him, and I met him at a conference. It was Sankalp Summit. Sankalp Summit is one of the world's largest what we say a development sector conference, which happens majorly in Bombay. And there are two Sankalp Summit. One happens in Bombay, and the other one happens in Africa. So they bring together policymakers, entrepreneurs, social entrepreneurs, researchers from across the world, and for the 3 days. So this is how I started. I was a volunteer for that summit, and I was also attending the sessions, networking with people for my projects, and this is how I met the entrepreneur, the founder who was working on his project. He just an idea, had an idea at that time, and he secured some seed funding to start that idea. But he was based in Gurgaon, so he was working he was trying to do something innovative stuff, like try to bring in blockchain. How can blockchain can be used for driving sustainable practices in the water space? So I didn't work with him for a full time, but since he was based and his small team was based in Gurgaon, so I was like kind of I was in Bombay and looking after my family and etc. And I was like part-time working for him, bringing him kind of like helping him get strategic partnerships, etc., etc. So after that, like along with that, I was also preparing for my GRE exams, etc. So I had a plans of like going for master straight after undergrad, but few of my mentors told me that it's not a very great idea to go for a master's straight after undergraduation. And until and unless you don't have like great clarity that what you want to do, right?
Yeah.
Especially for business field and the entrepreneurship field, it is very, very practical and a good idea to have a decent amount of work experience. So you have boots on the ground, you have some skin in the game, and you have some kind of knowledge, a practical knowledge that what are your skills, what are your core strengths, what are your weaknesses, and based on that, you have better opportunity to build on those skills when you go for a master's.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
Yeah. So this is how I was searching for full-time opportunities, parallelly also working with my friend who happens to be also an entrepreneur working in he was like working in the steel manufacturing field, and with that I was also searching for opportunities. So in that process I was also kind of in touch with Mr. Like a gentleman who had worked with Elon Musk as a founding member of PayPal.
Okay.
So yeah, so I was like interacting with him like because he has very innovative ideas for India, and what to do like for India and how India will be at and like 30 years down the line, 25 years down the line, right? So Mr. Sanjay Bhargav, his name is it's really
Yeah.
my name flipped off. So I was interacting with him and I was like sharing ideas, etc. How can we do this? So initially idea was that the idea was that how can we build $1 trillion impact companies and use them to creating impact and completely eradicate poverty.
Okay,
So
so
it kind of
you
very,
have $0 and you're thinking of $1 trillion, right?
yeah. No, so it idea was that how can we enable
Okay,
entrepreneurs create, how can we enable entrepreneurs and ideas create those $1 trillion impact companies by
okay,
collaborating with governments and giving them access to mass access to citizens.
okay,
So kind of very disruptive or kind of a very heavy idea. So I was exploring that how can I contribute to this idea. In that process, I could also maybe learn and build something meaningful, which was the whole idea about. So that project didn't really took off because there was some regulatory hurdles with the government. So, but in that process, I came in contact with with an organization called Sapio Analytics, and that the organization, that company Sapio Analytics, was a partner for that project. So this is how I came in contact with the founder and co-founder and the CEO of that organization, and he was like, "Why don't you continue with our projects which are running right now?" So
okay.
currently, I'm working as a in the CEO's office as a strategy role and business development role, working with the co-founders on how can we really leverage the power of data, use innovations, our innovation, our technology innovation, and combine this data with our technological innovation and drive this for impact. So
So
how we
what
are starting?
so what are the skills that you are bringing to this work?
Correct. So my major skills are like to trying to find out that who could be the organization, who could be the people who would help us grow our mission.
Okay,
So this entails like bringing and forming partnership, and this entails that whatever product which we have developed, or our fascinating team of engineers have developed. So how can we really pitch those products to companies and to government bodies and etc. So that more impact can be generated. For example, we have a product which is into upskilling and employment enhancement. It's called Samarth. So a major part of work, my major part of work goes into how can I reach out to major companies who have access to large workforce, so blue collar workforce.
yeah,
So we are working with a project called Saksham in collaboration with Government of India.
hmm,
So during COVID, after COVID, like, the government saw that there's a large inflow of migrant workers towards their hometown, right? And there was a major
yes,
issue.
yes,
Yeah, there's the major issue. So
yes,
government thought that what can we do to connect those migrant workers or the blue collar workers specifically to industries and the MSMEs, etc. And
yes,
how can technology play a role in that? And that's where
yeah,
we came in. So after a successful phase 1 or 2, the government appointed us as a nodal agency to run this project pan India.
okay,
So right now we are working with Government of India and kind of understanding through our proprietary technology, we're kind of understanding uh, these blue collar workers and helping them get meaningful job opportunities and helping them towards the livelihood enhancement as a guide.
okay,
So my major work goes into partnership with building, identifying companies who have access to this blue collar workforce and how can we help them? How can we help that area?
okay. Wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that you are doing such work. It's really outstanding. It's really good to meet a young person who is working so hard and so motivated. So I'm really happy. Okay, let's continue.
Sure. So this is what I'm doing. Apart from that, I'm also the project which I'm working on is it's called the Anonymizer project. So there's a major need for to explain in a very simple manner that we all know that government has massive amount of data, right? So how can we leverage this massive amount of data which government already has? So government cannot simply just share this data with anyone because there are a lot of it entails like privacy element of the citizens. So with the current data protection law which is still on the table of the parliament, right? The definition of privacy really changes contextually. So the idea is how can we develop a real-time anonymizer, a AI-built anonymizer, which could smartly anonymize the PII data, the personally identifiable data, and give out the rest of the data to the industry, to the researchers, and for the use of citizens, of society at large. So this
Mm,
problem is a major problem which is with the whole world government are facing, and they don't have a solution yet.
yeah,
So Professor Bimal Kumar Rai, who's a Padma Shri and a world-renowned statistician, who even advises a current prime minister and many other head of states globally. So he had this idea: man, how can we develop a AI-based anonymizer tool by bringing best talent across the country? So our organization is now working with the government of West Bengal, where Mr. Professor Bimal Kumar Roy is stationed, with the IT department of West Bengal government, and we are kind of trying to reach out to the best talent across India and the best startups across India, and inviting them to build this innovation with us.
Wow.
So even that project is going on. So if we are successful in with a strong POC, whichever team or whichever innovation is the best, that innovation will be deployed with the West Bengal with the government of West Bengal, and it will be tested on a live public transitional data.
Okay. You use the term POC. What is that?
Okay, POC is proof of concept.
Okay, good. I just want people to know what you are saying.
Right? Sure.
Yeah, so it's still in the proof of concept stage.
Sure. Yeah. So it's in the building stage. The solution development is still going on. Yeah. So, but interesting part is that in that process, we already have one patent published.
Okay.
So many more patent. We look forward to many more patent coming to our way from the project.
Okay.
So interesting things are going on. We are working with many great leaders and helping them unleash the whole power of data through our innovation.
Okay. And on a personal level, I mean, how is it with your family? Are you now a main source of income, or what is going on? I just want to know.
Yeah, everything is great. Like, so main problem was the health problem, which was like kind of getting, though the main issue was that we didn't had access to the, the healthcare facilities, right? Because at that time, the whole healthcare system was broken down.
Yes.
So now everything is fine because the dad is going great. There's no health issues. Everything is fine and now back on track.
Okay. And you have some siblings? You said you were the eldest child. So what about the siblings?
Yeah. So also have a younger brother, and he is in Delhi right now. He's also working with a construction company, and who happens to be my friend's. My friend had a connection over there, so he is working with there.
Okay.
Also in the business development strategy role over there as well.
Okay, so you have two major earners in the family now, so income is not an issue anymore, right?
Yeah. So income was not an issue. The major issue was that for me as a personally, that how to grow, whom to look up to in terms of like academics or professional person. So everything that has to be kind of sorted out on my own, right? Yeah. So in that process, like I built mentors on my own when I entered college. So identified right mentors and identified right opportunities, and just worked on them.
Well, and you have really done it. I must say you have done it. It's a pleasure to hear you and pleasure to sense the optimism and the dynamism that is there with you. And you seem to think, oh, well, it's just a problem. I can solve it. Oh, it's a problem. Okay, fine. We will solve it, right? If there is a problem, there is a solution somewhere, and let's find it, right? That's
correct.
Right, correct. Okay, so that's a very, very good approach to have to problems, that they are just problems, and we are human beings, and we will find a way around it. We will get it done. So any final words you have for the viewers? What do you want to, some message you want to convey?
Yeah, sure. So there are the fundamental thing over here is that there are things which are in control and there are things which are not in our control, right? So let's give our best on the things which are in our control, and let other things just unleash as they are going ahead. For what I majorly mean is that the idea of there's an idea called the luck surface area, right? The things which are not in a control, luck plays a major role in that.
Yes.
So how can we increase the luck surface area? So, for example, if you have an XYZ goal in your mind, so what can you do is majorly, can you find out that who are the person who have done XYZ thing earlier, or who are the person who are doing XYZ thing right now? Can you reach out to them? And how can you like increase the area where the opportunities will automatically come to you rather than you going towards opportunities?
Okay. So a very clear approach. I haven't heard such an approach from anyone. Where you make your own luck. That's what you're saying.
Exactly,
Make your own
exactly.
luck. Yeah. Don't
Make
wait
your own
for
luck.
luck to come to you. Make sure luck comes to you. All right. It'll come. If you are careful and smart, luck will come your way. Right.
Correct,
If
correct,
you are
correct.
prepared, then you will take advantage of luck and the opportunity that comes your way. And don't go to class in college. Is
use that time, use that time to discover yourself and
yeah,
build on opportunities.
right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a professor. I cannot stomach this message. Don't go to class. But I hear you say that you learned much more outside college classes than you did in the classes. And that's
Correct.
actually just fine with me. That is the way life should be. That college is just a place to be. And especially, I'm sorry to say, but the colleges in India don't really give you the kind of education that makes you capable of doing things. So you rightly said, well, there's only so much I can learn from these classes, but there's a lot more I can learn from outside. And I'm glad you did, because you met all these people, you attended the conferences, you found the mentors, and they have got you where you are. And so I would say let's end it here. It's very good. I'll just want to add that Darshan is very, very keen to be a volunteer, and he's trying to join me on an NGO that I help, FEA, and let's see what they can do with him. Um, so he's very, very motivated, uh, having achieved enough for himself to help others in India who have not yet been so successful and so lucky. He wants to make their luck happen for them. Let's put it this
Exactly,
way.
exactly.
If the luck is not going their way, he's going to push them towards the luck and see how that can help them. So thank you, Darshan. I'm really glad to have talked with you. Let's end this here today, and let's say bye to our viewers. Let me say that next time I'll be back with another young Indian or perhaps an expert. Darshan is kind of young, but also verging towards being an expert. In what I can't figure out yet, but I'm sure he will do well. Okay. Bye bye, everybody.
Thank you.